Hey everyone, thanks for joining our webinar today. So today we are going to be showcasing the kind of the key differences between Matidor Qi and Matidor Noa. So some of you may already be in Qi or just moved over and just kind of want a refresher, or the ability to be able to kind of see what the main differences are, while others of you are still on Matador Noah and just want to have a look at what Matador Chi looks like. Victor's going to walk us through some of the key changes here. Do note that some of the things that we're going to talk about are specific to sort of administrators, while others are sort of for the everyday users and more just the interface of the system itself. And I'll pass it over to Victor to walk us through it. Um, as always, this is recorded, and if you'd like a copy of it, we're happy to send that to you afterwards.
Mhm. Hey everyone. So yeah, I'm gonna start with the biggest changes at the company level and then go into detail with everything else. So the first thing that you will notice, it's we have divided the concept of company versus now what we call workspaces. So basically now, if you get invited to other companies or workspaces in Matidor, um, you will see them listed here. And let's say you move to another one, you will be completely separated. And in this other company or workspace, you can have a different role and a different yeah, and the content that you see is totally different. We offer this to also key customers. So if you want to subdivide your existing company, you can have a section for one particular area. If you don't want them to interact with what you are working on, so you can subdivide in different workspaces, basically. Um, I did mention the roles. Roles in the new version are kind of different. To learn more about that, we offer in your help section, help user guide, admin guides, you can see the roles. In total, there are 6 roles, what we call the staff roles and the guest roles. Uh, this is similar to the collaborator roles that we used to have, but now what they can do, it's a little different. So I will suggest just take a look. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Here we clearly explain what they are kind of do at different levels, so you can check that as well. But as just as a reminder, guest users, they can only see the projects that they are invited to compared to staff members that they have access to all your projects. Um, Now looking at the screen, the clear difference, it will be your home screen. This one now it's a little different. It's mainly focused on the user. Previously, it used to be company-wide information, but now it's only for you. You will see that the tasks that you have that are assigned to you, having priority the ones that are expired or overdue, and any mention that you have in any of your projects will be, you can see it here. So mm, now going to settings, templates. We did a lot of change with the templates and how they work. So the first thing that you will notice is that when you go inside a template, it's a new structure. We added a couple of new fields. One of the most requested has been the option of multi-choice. So in case of dropdowns, we only had the option to add one. Now you can select multiple of them. We add the concept of date range. Basically, you keep a start and a date end date. Sorry. We added labels. The labels, it's mostly for instruction. It will be a read-only field that users can see inside your form. Um, Scrolling down to this section is what we call a priority section. So if you want to add fields that don't go inside any particular section, then you add them here, and I will show you how they look. Info consulting. So let me look for agent consulting. So those fields, they will appear right here compared that the ones that go inside that section. So now we have the flexibility for users to choose where those fields will be located. Another feature that we have implemented is you click on this, it's gonna hide the field. And what happens is that for existing, if this field is being used in a project and has data on it, it's gonna remain as it is. We don't touch it. But any project that doesn't have it populated, it will be hidden automatically, and any subsequent project that you create using this template will not see that field unless you go and click again and make it visible for the user. Um, Another feature that we have implemented for fields is that now you can choose how they look. Right, this is like a half field, but you can make it full width. And what it does, it's gonna take the entire space. So if you wanna realign that, you can do it. Another thing that we have implemented in Matidor is the concept of private versus public field or shared field. Um, a common problem in Noah it was that you used to have a field that it was called the same over different templates, but in Noah they were treated as different entities. Here, the same field can be shared across different templates, so you only see one in your columns view. How does it work? Well, when you add a field, let me add this. You have the option to make it custom field, which it will make it public, meaning share with everyone. Or if not, if you don't mark this, it will be just a simple field that can only be visible while accessing this particular template. Um, all the fields that become shared or public will be listed here on your right side, left side, and you can just search by them if you want, and you can just drag and drop any of them. They have a different color, so it's easy to identify them. But the idea is they might be using another template, and you can quickly know where they are being used. If you go to your settings, we have the option called Custom Field Library. Here we're gonna list them. We have for projects and we have for work. When you click on any of them, it's gonna tell you in which of different templates is being used, and you can click on the template and you will be redirected right away to that. So it's really easy to know where it's being used in all the different templates. We still have the same section forms that you can add, but now it's a little different how to add them. You will basically go all the way to the bottom. And here, when you scroll, move one field and add it, automatically creates a new section. And you still have the option to reorganize them, move them up, down, rename them, but that's the new structure. Another thing that we did some changes to is in your template settings. We now have the option for your templates if you want to have them to have work, which is basically tasks and forms, budgets, and a new field that we call schedules. If you don't want any of these at any moment, you can just unselect it and that section will be hidden automatically. You still have the option to see your work and you can toggle it on or off whenever you need it. Now coming to work. Work, it's what we call now the combination of your tasks and your forms. Now they are combined into a single section that we call work. When you add a new template, here basically, if you don't add anything at all, then it will behave as a form because it's a simple form that doesn't have anything. But now we give you the flexibility to choose which system fields you want to see. Maybe you only want to assign it, but you don't want any of those, you can select it. Um, a new change also is a required approval. This is a new section that basically, instead of closing the work, you will go for approval to whoever is the manager of that project. This is something to have in mind. If you click on an existing work, once again, we offer the same options as the project. You can have your public or shared fields and that you can add here, or you can create your own structure. You will see them with a different color, so it's easy to identify them. And in your template settings, we offer a little bit more options for work. All those fields that I mentioned are system fields. You can at any moment toggle it on or off, and it's up. And if you remove them, then that's it. They are just here. Another thing, allow status. So all the work in this new version, they have a status. And if I go to a project, if I create one of them, yeah, this one. By default, all of them have a status. But maybe you don't want to have, or you don't want to use an status because this is actually like a form or not something that a user needs to move from open to closed. What that field does is automatically set them to close. So user won't have the option to move from status from open to close. It will just lock them to a closed status, and that's it. They don't have to worry about that. So that's what this does. The remaining things you already know: ability to assign a user, add a description, start and end date if you want, and what I mentioned, the required approval. Then on the right side, you'll find your location, similar how it used to be in Noah. You can have a work attached to a geolocation. You can have the LLC, but now we also offer the option of dynamic style. What it does is from one of your existing dropdowns in this template, it can be a system dropdown or a custom field that you added on your own. Like this status is the system assigning system, but these other were added by the user. These are custom dropdown fields. And what it does is you need to select, if nothing is selected, you can choose an icon, and that icon can be represented with a color. We give you a preview, but then also you want a different color or a different style when the status is open. So this already has a predefined color, but you can change the style, change the icon. And the idea is just a visual indicator for users to quickly see on the map based on the status, the different options, a different icon. Also, when the status is closed, then you can have a different. So really useful if you just want to do a quick glance at the map, see what the different options are based on the color. Another thing that we have implemented is the concept of subtask. This is new. You go to My Task, you will see them with a different icon compared to a regular work or task. And if you click on it, you will see that inside your work, now you have a section for subtasks. A subtask can be added automatically when the work gets created in your template. So those are preloaded, or you can add a new one at any moment. This is way simpler than a regular task. We only add the option to select a due date and assigning if you wanna block or not this particular subtask. What blocking does is that you cannot close this because the system is telling you there are some subtasks that you need to complete before your entire work can be closed. To complete a subtask, so it's as simple as just click on it, and that the system will consider it as closed. You can assign a subtask to a different user that is not the assignee of the main task. So that's something useful that we have implemented. Now in other, we have added what used to be budgets. Now we have breakdown budgets and costs. They have their own templates. And once again, you have the option to add some fields, create your own structure, but you also added user templates. So this is basically for a user field. If I go into a user, it's like myself. Now you can add your custom fields to them if you want to divide them by department or area, or if you have a mobile device allocated to them, you can track all that based on the user as well. it's up to you how you want to customize this. Another option that we have implemented is for templates. We offer the option to archive it. This is, we didn't have this feature before, and what happens is when you archive one of these project templates, when you try to create a new one, you won't see the option. But all the existing projects that are using this template will remain as it is. We don't touch the data, um, so users can still access it. It just prevents you from using it from now on. But at any moment, you can unarchive it and it will be back again. You can do this for projects and for work. So if at any moment you want to retire a particular template, you just archive it. Um, Everything that you already did in the past remains. It just, you don't see the option to add more using this particular template. Any questions so far? Okay. Um, Coming back, the next change that we did is regarding how you find the information in Matidor. Now we divided what when you do like a project search, something inside the project, it can be work, budgets, costs, and now we even allow to search of files. Or if you want to find a location, then now it's done on the lower right side. Here is where you will find anything related to a location. It can be coordinates, LSDs, addresses, all that is done here. So we just divided it. It's a little easier to understand there. Um, my task remains similar. You still have all your tasks, but now any subtask will be also listed here for you. All projects. So this, it's a complete change to what used to be data and reportability. Now you still see all the projects at your company level, any comments that have been done at the company level, as well as you can switch between comments and activities. When you expand this into a table view, which is basically every time that you see this icon, it means it can be expanded into a table view. In this new version, there is a new structure how this works. You will see if no template is selected, basically you will see all the system fields as well as the option to add all your public or share fields. And the idea is that since those fields are across all templates, it doesn't matter if there are no filter applies. But if you want to see a field that was private or meaning it was not shared across all templates, then you will have to filter by that particular template and only then we show them. Because the idea is since that is not a shared field, it cannot be visible when there are no filters. It's only for that particular template. At any moment, you have the option to modify this and make a private field into a shared field or public field. So it can be seen if you want to start using that as well. Another thing that we have implemented is that now we offer the option to filter anything. Like in the old version, we only offer the option to filter dropdowns. But now it can be done any type of field. It can be a date, it can be a text field, and any of your fields now can be applied. And these filters can be used to create a portfolio, which is what used to be a project group. And I will explain what's kind of the difference. I did mention the schedule field, that it's a new field that we introduced that we use for timeline, which is a new concept. Basically, if you populate that field, the schedule, we're gonna give you a timeline or your projects when they start, when they end, and you can move this. You have the option to see it, or you can have your regular list. And I will show you where it is located. So Here, this is your schedule field. And as I mentioned, you can have start date and then choose an end date, and that will make it to be displayed in the timeline. If you don't want this, you can hide it. It's just an extra feature that we have for you. Coming back to your projects. So as I mentioned, you have the option to filter any field that you want. And that, let's say you want this particular template. We have the option to save it as a view. So this is similar to presets. We still have that. You can save it as table here, give it a name. By default, it's private, or you can make it visible for everyone in your company. Once it's saved, then this is when a view gets applied, and you can switch between different views, similar how it was in Node. Now, the portfolios, you can save this in a portfolio. I'll give it a name. When you save, we're actually telling you, you know what, these are the filters that you are applying for this portfolio. So these conditions will be automated. So any new project or existing project that matches the conditions will be automatically added. Now, you even tell you how many are getting affected at this moment, how many are going to be added, and then the portfolio gets created. So portfolio versus project group, the difference. A portfolio offers you more information compared to a project group. Not only have the list of projects that you have, you also have the latest comments and activities only for those projects inside the portfolio. This one that I created, it's telling you right away, this is an automated portfolio. If you expand it, we already locked down the conditions that make it automated, meaning this is it only uses the templates from site plan, and it has to be from manager Patrick. But we offer the option to still do, if you want to do extra filters, you can do it. If you have views, you can apply the views on top of this, and it will only for these projects. So you can combine views and portfolios. The difference between a view and portfolio is that view is mostly looking at the table. A portfolio, you can see the information filter also on the map, and it gives you comments and activities. So I'll say combine them for a better result. Now, going a little bit deeper, in the map, you will see, if I open my layers, now we have a clear difference between what we call sub-projects and projects. You have the option to toggle them on, off, both of them. The sub-project now come with this visual indicator, and it means they are part of a parent project. You access it. Inside a project, you will see this is your sub-project, and you can navigate to the parent project and see them located here with this new visual indicator. So it's easy for you to identify them. Changes inside the project. Summary, it's kind of pretty much similar how it used to be. You still have your sections, your structure, your sub-projects, what we call now work. You can create a work from here, or you can go to the work tab, your budgets, comments, and activities. Coming to your work, this is a little different. We offer basic information because now everywhere where you see this option, it means you can expand this into a table view. If you want to get more details, you can add this. And once again, you can have your own views. So you can just choose what will be the structure of your fields. So that's kind of the idea. And you can do this for work, for budgets, for goals, and for your files as well. So the idea is give you more information. You can do like export of the more, you can upload more. So that's one of the main biggest difference that we offer you table view concept. Inside the project, You click the three dots. It's kind of similar, but now in your export, um, the PDF export has way more features. We have the option to export the map. If you decide to export the map, it's basically a screenshot of what you are looking at this moment. You can zoom in or zoom out if you want to cover more, but it's just a screenshot. Legends, basically any icon that you have, you want to see it on the left side. If no legend is selected, the map will be bigger in the PDF export. If you want to include your projects information or budgets, your drawings, comments, or photos. Another thing that we added, we're actually allowing you to select which fields in particular you want to export into the PDF. If you don't want the entire section, you can just unselect it and then it won't be exported. If you decide to allocate all of them, even if the field is empty, it will be exported just without data. So that's one of the changes. Any questions so far? I know it's a lot to take in, but just highlighting all the major differences.
Victor, just the sake of time, because we only scheduled 30 minutes for this, I think we haven't shown timelines yet. And one thing I think is important to note just on the export is that in Noah, the pictures do get cut off if they're not aligned up properly in the export. But in Qi, we've solved that. So you never have any pictures that are kind of running between two pages. But I think let's show timeline quickly, and then if there is any questions, we can also stick around for a couple extra minutes if anybody needs. But
Yep. Once again, yeah, the timeline feature that I mentioned about your projects, you can do it also for your work. You have your list. If you want to make it timeline, basically here you only see the ones that have a timeline, but you have the option to show the ones that are not don't have it. You can add it on your own as well. You can filter this by templates, by assigning, so it's easier to see it as well. And that's pretty much it. That's the biggest difference we can mention about between Matidor Qi and Matidor Noa.
nice. No, thanks, Victor. If anybody has any questions, they can just add it to the chat as well, if they prefer. Uh, so we have a question here. Any update on the timeline for the app? We did some testing on that briefly. So we do have online version already available in the App Store called Matador Go. We just did final testing on the offline. I believe it should be out maybe even by the end of this week.
It's already out actually, yes.
Yeah,
If you search for Mati.co, you will have this latest version, which includes also the offline. Any other question?
yeah. Appreciate everybody's time. If you'd like a copy of this, oh, sorry, can you save a contact info for reoccurring clients? That's a kind of like a directory type of item. It's something that I don't believe we can do at this moment, but it has been something we've talked about actually quite a bit recently. So, something that I think we'll probably be adding to the roadmap here for some time this year to add that in. So essentially, when you select a specific client, then it would autofill some of those client details for you. Everyone, appreciate you jumping on, and feel free to just reach out to Victor, even in intercom, if you'd like a copy of this. Thanks.